Chapter 25. Only 27 hours after our post about Murphy goes up, he's adopted. Wendy acts like we saved the last black rhino from extinction. Calm down, Levi warns her before homeroom. We've helped one dog find a home. And Murphy only got adopted so quick because my mom put links to the Pet Hut blog all over her social media. We saved a life. Wendy sits on Levi's desk, her legs swinging back and forth. It's a no-kill shelter, he reminds her. Wendy shrugs. Still, without us, who knows how long poor Murphy would have been suffered in the place. He wasn't suffering, Levi says. Maddie moans as she walks by. We're all suffering just listening to you three. Then don't listen, Levi shoots back. And I looked at your website, Maddie says. It's a blog, Wendy corrects her. Whatever, Maddie continues. You had about 100 spelling mistakes, and you also. Cool, Levi says. I'm glad you checked it out. Nice to know you're a fan. Maddie does an exaggerated shiver. I'm not. She hesitates, like she has more to say, but she doesn't. She rolls her eyes and walks over to Daniela. Anyway, Wendy says, we need to go back tonight and pick another dog. I'll get Cherish to drive us after school. She pulls out her phone to text her sister. I can't, I tell her. Why, Wendy says. I have an appointment. An appointment I don't want to go to. Nana's arranged an interview and a tour at NCASME, the high school for super smart math and science-loving students. What appointment? Doctor? Dentist? Ortho? Wendy asks, are you getting braces? You don't need to know everything, Levi says. If Lucy wants to know, she'll tell you. Wendy sticks out her bottom lip. She's pretending to be hurt, or maybe she's actually a little bit hurt. Mr. Stoker claps his hands twice. You have less than a minute before the bell. Please find your seats. Levi, you can still go, right? Wendy asks as she gets up. I guess, but I'm only doing it for the dogs, not for you. Wendy smiles. Whatever. She shrugs and walks off. When I know she's out of hearing range, I lead toward Levi. Hey, were you on MathWiz last night? I assume it was him. The username was Levi123. He nods. Did you get all your questions answered? Yeah, Lightning Girl, I did. He takes out his homework and holds up. See? Okay. Let me know if you need. I don't finish my sentence. I will. Nana and Uncle Paul pick me up at 12. He's only in town for 2 days, and I can't believe this is how he wants to spend his afternoon. The ride to the academy takes 103 minutes. 14 turns, 22 right turns, and 5 times of Nana telling me not to be nervous. After the first time, her words have the opposite effect. You got this, genius, Uncle Paul says as we get out of the car. We follow Nana into the pretty white house with blue shutters like the number 7. I would think it's just a house, except it has a sign in the yard that says admissions. Don't be nervous, Nana says again. We wait for our appointment in the living room. Uncle Paul points out all the science magazines perfectly arranged on the table. They couldn't throw in one Sports Illustrated? What do they have against basketball and football? And what about boxing? Did you know that's called the sweet science? Why? I ask. I got no idea. A woman wearing gray pants, kind of like the number 99, and a sweater with NCASME logo invites us into her office. She introduced herself as Cheryl McCleary, but she doesn't say if I should call her Cheryl or Miss McCleary. Have a seat, she says. I sit and I don't get up. Nana pats my knee like she's impressed. It doesn't last. 3.141592. I stand, sit. The numbers retreat. Miss McCleary doesn't say anything about the OCD dance. Most adults don't, but she's also good at hiding her surprise. Maybe she's met kids before, like me. Other students who have obsessive routines and patterns. I want to ask her, but can't think of a polite way to do so. Lucy, thank you for coming to visit our school, Miss McCleary begins. We're honored to have you consider us for your education. Thanks. I wish I knew whether she says this to every student. I've reviewed your homeschool records and your achievement tests. They're all very impressive. We don't have any grades from East Hamlin Middle yet. She pats the folder on her desk. Middle school has been a bit of an adjustment, Nana says. Isn't it for everybody? Uncle Paul adds. It certainly can be. Students thrive in different environments. You can't expect a rose to bloom in a desert. But put the rose in a greenhouse with light and water, it will blossom. Miss McCleary stares at us, hoping we get the point. I give a slight nod. I love roses, Nana blurts out. Me too, Miss McCleary says with a smile. Lucy, do you need to use the bathroom, or would you like a drink of water before I begin the exam? What exam? I slide my lightning bolt charm back and forth on its chain. They want to see if you're smart enough, Nana says, with a wink. She obviously knew about this part of the tour, but didn't bother to warn me. You ace every test, Uncle Paul says. Nothing to worry about. It's our standard entrance exam, Miss McCleary adds. It's required of all students who do not come from a traditional school. It's 150 questions, all multiple choice. Half are mathematics, the rest are science, vocabulary, and social studies. You have 2 hours to complete it. So do you need a restroom break? No, I look over to Nana. Her eyes are closed and her lips are moving. She's praying. I guess she really wants me to do well. Miss McCleary shows me to a conference room. The test booklet, 2 pencils, and a scrap paper wait for me on the table. Nana and Uncle Paul stay in her office. I wonder what they'll do while I answer 150 multiple choice questions. I open a Clorox wipe and clean the table and pencils. Again, Miss McCleary acts like this is totally normal. Do you need anything else? She holds out her hand for a used wipe. No, thank you. Good luck, she says. In general, I don't mind tests. I find them boring but not scary. Some kids panic. Spencer, the boy who sits next to me in science, panics when we have a test. I can hear his breathing get fast. His leg bounces nonstop. And when he lifts his arm, he smells sweaty. I open the booklet and I look at my watch. I answer all the math questions. I look at my watch again. 11 minutes have passed. The rest of the test takes me less than an hour. About half of the time I spend counting the words. I'm sure I get every question right. I debate going back and changing a few answers, but at this school, getting them all correct is probably the average. Not hiding my genius is like taking off a pair of sweaty old sneakers. It feels good now, but I don't think I'm ready to toss my sneakers. After the test, Miss McCleary gives us a tour. It's hard not to be impressed by the science labs with the shiny equipment, or the 3D printers in the classrooms, or the music room where I could learn to play the harp, or the coffee bar in the student center. Wendy would love a coffee bar. Obviously, we aren't your typical high school. We only cover 11th and 12th grades. We have a 100% graduation rate. All of our students go to college, and 92% receive at least partial scholarships. This is an awesome school, Uncle Paul whispers to me. Do you think I'm too old to apply, or just too dumb? I elbow him in the gut. This way, we follow Miss McCleary back to her office. The basket with Oreos, Pringles, and oranges sit on her desk, along with 4 bottles of water and 4 cans of Coke. Help yourself. I go for the Oreos. I'm opening the packet when my phone chimes in my pocket. Sorry, I'll silence it. No worries. I have 2 teenage daughters, Miss McCleary says. I'll be right back. When she leaves, I pull out my phone. What dog should we pick? Wendy? ? It's an emergency, doctor? Nana asks, joking. To someone it is, I say. Wendy, Lucy, help! Me. Kennel 4. Kennel 4 holds a dog named Rufus. A brown pit bull estimated to be 4 or 5 years old and weighing 60 pounds. I calculated his adoption time to be 22 to 26 days. Wendy, Rufus? Me. Yes. Me, unless there's a new dog over 8 years, black fur, weighing more than 60 pounds, and is mostly pit bull or shepherd. I wait for the response. Wendy, nope. Me, any Chihuahuas? Chihuahuas are the only non-large breed that I calculated with high adoption weight. They make Formula interesting. Windy. We are going with Rufus. I should be there. If an old black chihuahua is available, it's not fair to go with Rufus. This is theoretical. Dog is calculating to be 29 to 33 days. I chew on my bottom lip as I debate calling Levi. You okay, Uncle Paul asks. I nod. Boy problems? No. When Miss McCleary steps back into the room, Nana hits my arm. I silence my phone and put it away. Do you have any questions? She asks. Not really. Plus, my mouth is stuffed with Oreos. Does Lucy qualify? Nana asks. She earned a perfect test score, Miss McCleary says. This is not unheard of, but still, it's very impressive. Now Lucy will need to apply officially online. Okay, Nana says. I'd recommend you get this information in as soon as possible, within the next few weeks. Ideally. We are opening 2 spots for January. This is a great opportunity. We don't generally allow students to begin mid-year. January? That's only 81 days away. Lucky for you, Luce. Uncle Paul smiles when I don't smile back at him. He mouths, What? I shake my head. You have an excellent chance of being admitted. Miss McCleary reaches into her desk, pulls out a cap with NCASME on it, and hands it to me. I swallow the last of the Oreo. It goes down my throat like a baseball. I just started a new school. It was awful, and now it's not so awful. I don't know if I'm ready to do it all over again.